All right, well, good afternoon, fans. Welcome in here on audiosportsonline.com as well as XRB Radio, 1610 a.m., the voice of Brownsburg. Rob Kendall along with Troy Weimer. Senior day at Brownsburg High School as the Bulldogs set to play host to the Fishers Tigers. Bulldogs coming in on a three-game winning streak, 15-8 on the year. Tigers 13-14, and Troy, should be an exciting afternoon for baseball.
Should be. It's a beautiful afternoon for baseball. We're very thankful for some good weather here. We've had our challenges this year with the wind and the cold and the rain, all those things. And even though there was speculation about some stormy weather in the area today, that has held off and allowed not only for us to get in some really good baseball here at Mary Beth Rose Park in Brownsburg, but a full day at the track today with the cars running around and doing their practice for qualifications coming up next week.
Well, Bulldogs have already gone through their pregame warm-ups. Fishers Tigers getting ready to head out onto the field. Bulldogs will be back in those Good Luck Retro jerseys. The white jerseys, vertical purple stripes, white pants, and Fishers Tigers in the road red, gray pants, white letters, or gray letters and numbers, I should say. Again, it is senior day, so we'll have a little bit of an extended intro. Chris Worley will be along here in a little bit. I'll be giving the microphone over to him as we get ready to go. And again, we do want to thank all year long XRB Radio, 1610 a.m. has promoted these guys, as well as Brownsburg High School, athletic directors Greg Hill and our new athletic director, Kelly Wagner, for helping us out, Coach Eric Mattingly. This may or may not be our final broadcast, so that's why we're getting all those folks in as we go along throughout the course of the year. And Troy, Mr. Worley is here, so I'm going to let you take it over, maybe read a sponsor or two, and then lineups, and we'll hand the microphone over to Chris.
Thank you, Rob, and welcome to the booth, Chris. Like we said, it is an absolutely perfect night for baseball. It's sunny and blue skies. The field is lit up with a lot of natural sunshine, no clouds. Good crowd on hand for senior night. And tonight, Chris, the Bulldogs come into this game at 15-8. The Tigers are 13-14 in Hoosier Crossroads Conference baseball. And we're gearing up for sectionals next week, and this will be a really good time to tune up and get things together for next week.
Yeah, sure will, and I'm glad we got a beautiful night for baseball here, Troy. But you're right, senior night's big. They got a nice display for the senior players down below there, so big night.
We will be bringing you the senior night activity, or senior night ceremony that will be before the first pitch. That was supposed to start about 5:15, but that's going to be delayed just a little bit. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors that have sponsored the broadcast on xrbradio.com and 1610 AM, audiosportsonline.com. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters provide severe weather sheltering and personal safety needs. They are located in Pittsboro and are open from 7 to 7. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters can be reached at 317-8029 and found on the web at superiorsaferooms.com. Special thanks to Sean Shipman and our friends at OEM Products. OEM Products offers tubular and machine components along with electro polishing service. They are located at 121 Commerce Drive in Danville and are open from 9 to 5. They can be reached at 718-0958. Junk Dogs and Moving Dogs is a friendly solution to junk removal and moving. They are owned and operated by firefighters, veterans, and service members. Junk Dogs and Moving Dogs provide screened, uniformed employees to customers for their junk removal and moving needs. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and can be reached at 1-800-712-5865. So thank you to those are just some of our sponsors that we have sponsoring the broadcast tonight, and those sponsors have been with us throughout the season here, Brownsburg baseball. And as Rob alluded to just a minute ago, the Bulldogs have taken their warm-ups and have gone back to their dugout for their pre-game little chats in the dugout. The Fishers Tigers are on the field right now and taking a little infield as we speak. And again, nice crowd on hand. And as usual, the crowd will file in a little bit late here, Chris, with people getting off work and getting kids where they need to go and all that stuff. But I anticipate a really nice crowd on hand for senior night 2013.
That's right, Troy. Maybe the biggest crowd of the year. We are lucky with some good weather here, and for senior night, crowd definitely filing in. Looks good here tonight. You know, I noticed, Troy, I know you covered some of the standings. Quite a discrepancy in games played here between these two. Fishers has 27 games played. Brownsburg, with all those rainouts and weather problems, we've had 21 games. But Brownsburg's been hot lately, just coming off a sweep of back-to-back games win over Zionsville. So hopefully they can keep this hot streak going and play well here tonight, Troy.
Yeah, really important 3-game set that the Dogs just came off of and ended up on a 3-game winning streak coming out of that. Chris, what sticks out at you at this game as far as we're getting towards the end of conference play into the regular season stat-wise? Just talk about, if you can, who you see in the statistics. I know you follow those things pretty close, and who's really stood out. What should we expect tonight for the Dogs?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Troy. Now, as far as MVP, I got my votes in. I mentioned this to Rob on the last broadcast, but definitely I would vote for my number one MVP candidate on this team this year is shortstop Mike Hartnagel. You know, he leads the team in a lot of offensive categories, RBIs. He's tied for the league with Tyler Houston, has the most hits, most stolen bases, batting .493, and, of course, he plays a good shortstop. So hardly any position, in the baseball field is more important than shortstop, and he's been an outstanding senior leader. I guess my number two MVP candidate would be Tyler Houston. Pitched a great ball game last night in that shutout over Zionsville. He's also, of course, hit well. He leads the team in slugging percentage. He also has 22 RBIs. Garrett Ish, another senior, has really been hot lately. He's upped his batting average now to .492. Leads the team in doubles, has 17 RBIs. So senior leadership coming through down the stretch here. And, of course, you can't forget, I guess my number 4 guy would be Ty McCoy as a pitcher. He leads the team by far in wins, and he's done a great year, had a great year. So that's my 4 MVP candidates.
Well, those first 2 candidates you mentioned, Michael Hartnagel at shortstop and Tyler Houston playing center field, will be our leadoff and number 2 hitters in the Dogs lineup, as is usually the case. And you talk about Hartnagel, it seems like that every broadcast we've done, that he's always mentioned as noticed by us in the booth as a hustler on the field. He's aggressive on the base paths. He likes to get down and dirty, if you will, in the infield. Plays a really good shortstop, and like you said, that important position, the field general for shortstop. The infield kind of field general for the infield, the shortstop position, very important at all levels of baseball. And Hartnagel's done a great job this year for the Dogs.
Certainly, he's very noticeable, stands out every game, of course. And as that leadoff hitter, he can get on base, has a good on base percentage, and with 15 stolen bases in 20 games played, that's almost a base stolen a game. So he's the cog at the top that kickstarts this offense. Looks good to me. One other player I'd like to mention for this final scheduled game. We may have a makeup game or so before sectionals, but catcher Yeager is a senior, and I think he's caught almost every inning this year, and he does an outstanding job of leading this pitching staff and providing leadership on this team.
I don't recall calling an inning where Yeager was not behind the plate for the Bulldogs this season, and we look forward to seeing him behind the plate again tonight, calling the signs for the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs, which will be Carter. Dalton Carter will be on the mound, the starting pitcher for the Dogs. Spring is here. It's time to get that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all of your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. What is a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who makes your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs, so whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning for your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We thank all of our sponsors for being with us throughout the season of Hoosier Crossroads Conference. Sorry about that. Rob was taking my drink order, which is a tradition of ours here in the beginning of the broadcast. But thank all of our sponsors that have been with us throughout this season of Hoosier Crossroads Conference baseball. And tonight we'll go through the starting lineups. Leading off and playing shortstop for the Fishers Tigers is the shortstop Garrett Slaughter. batting second and playing second base is Derek Eli. Batting third is the starting pitcher, Brandon Yoho. Batting fourth in the cleanup spots, Connor Christensen playing center field. Taylor Cantor. Taylor Cantor will be the DH, and he will hit fifth. Corey Reed is the catcher. He'll hit sixth. Cole Dalton will hit seventh and play third base. Ben Pritchard will hit eighth and play right field. Jacob Topman will play left field and close out the order in the number 9 spot. As Chris alluded to, Michael Hartnagel, the shortstop, who gets my vote and Chris's vote for MVP of the Bulldogs this year during both conference and non-conference play, and hopefully as we go through the sectionals, is a shortstop, Michael Hartnagel. Tyler Houston bats second and plays center field. Hayden Shipman plays second base, and he'll bat third. The DH is Cody Gill. He bats fourth in the cleanup spot, and he's hitting for the pitcher, Dalton Carter. Hunter Liam will play left field and bat fifth. Sam Comer at first base, who's been so consistent throughout the year too, Chris. Sam Comer, especially defensively at first base. He will bat sixth. Caleb Sampson plays third base and bats seventh. Kyle Yeager is the catcher. He will bat eighth and catch. We talked about Yeager earlier. Just a real workhorse behind the plate this year for the Dogs. Can't really recall an inning that we've called where he hasn't been behind the plate. And batting ninth is Garrett Ish, and Garrett Ish will be in right field. Again, the Bulldogs are 15-8. The Tigers are 13-14. And as you can see, they have brought the 2013 out onto the field behind home plate, and we're ready to start the ceremony for senior night here for the Bulldogs. So Bulldogs and the Tigers will get our first pitch in as soon as the senior night is over.
Thank you, Rhett and Mac, and their teacher, Mrs. Rayburn.
And now to honor our seniors. First is manager Andrew Sims. Andrew is escorted tonight with his parents Melanie and David Sims. He will be attending the University of Kansas and majoring in mechanical engineering. While at the university, he plans on completing the ROTC program and then serving in the Air Force. One of Andrew's biggest memories from baseball was becoming sectional champions last year. Andrew would also like to thank his parents for their support and willingness to drive him to every baseball game. Manager Andrew Sims. Number 2, Hayden Shipman. Hayden is escorted tonight by Sean and Patty Shipman. His future plans are to attend an undecided college and play baseball. His favorite memory in baseball is winning as many games as possible. He has been most influenced by his parents in his baseball career and would like to give a shout out to T. Hutt, Garrett, Mike Hart, Schubert, Jake McFarland, and Cooper Wojcik. Number 2, Hayden Shipman. Our second senior is number 3, Kyle Yeager. Kyle is escorted tonight by his parents, Janet and Bob Yeager. Kyle's future plans are to attend Indiana University and study physical therapy. His favorite baseball moment are winning the Little League District and running on the district championship banner around the field. Kyle has been most influenced in his baseball career by his father, whether it was coaching him in Little League or bringing him a jersey when he forgot at home in high school. Finally, Kyle would like to give a shout out to all of his coaches for becoming the best baseball player that he can today. I would like to thank his teammates for being the best group of guys ever and making this past season great. He would like to thank his friends for always being there and everyone who sits out in left field. Your support is awesome. He would like to thank everyone at Brownsburg High School who has made the last 4 years amazing, and finally, he'd like to thank his family for always supporting him and his parents for never missing a game. Number 3, Kyle Yeager. Mike Hartnagel. Mike is escorted this afternoon by his parents, Chris and Ralph. Mike will be attending DePaul University next year to play baseball and studying business. His favorite baseball moment is winning district and 12-year-old Little League and going to state. He's been most influenced in his baseball career by his dad. While he started him at a young age, he never overpushed him. He's taught him so much about the game of baseball and how to play it the right way. Also, he would like to thank his grandfather. He's taught him so much and influenced him to extend his career and never take things for granted. Mike would like to thank his parents for being supportive and loving throughout his baseball career and his brothers for making him the player that he is. Also, he wants to give a shout out to EKFC, LCC, the Bomb Squad, and all his bros. Finally, to his girlfriend Maddie for coming to all the games and just being amazing. Lastly, he'd like to thank his coaches and teammates for all his memories. Number 4, Mike Hartnagel. Number 15, Dalton Carter. Dalton is escorted this afternoon by his parents, Pam and David. Next year, he'll be attending Earlham College in Richmond, Indiana, where he'll major in business management and play baseball. His favorite baseball moment is playing in Cooperstown, New York, and hitting a walk-off home run in his final pool play game. The most influential person in his baseball career has been his father. He got him started in baseball and taught him how to play the game and is the reason why he continues to play the game. He would like to thank his parents for all that they've done throughout the years. He would also like to thank all of the families that have supported him. He wants to give his shout out to his baseball family, his coaches, EKFC, LCC, his DECA fam, his fellow seniors, the left field junkies, and everyone that's important in his life. Number 15, Dalton Carter. Number 20, Hunter Liam. Hunter is being escorted this afternoon by his parents, Brenda and Brent. Next year, he'll be attending Indiana University, where he's majoring in marketing and finance in the Kelley School of Business. He will also be a part of the Hutton Honors College while at IU. His favorite baseball moment was winning the district in Little League when he was 12 years old. The most influential person in his baseball career has been his mom. She's been his #1 fan, whether it's getting his uniform ready or driving him to games and yelling, "Go Hunter B." I could not have asked for any better support than what she's given. He would like to thank his family, his mom, his dad, and his 2 sisters. He would like to thank his friends, EKFC, Tyler Hudson, Madison Maxwell, and all the families who have been through this journey with him. Lastly, he'd like to thank his coaches and teammates here at BHS. Thanks for the memories. Number 20, Hunter Liam. Our final senior is number 22, Garrett Ish. Garrett is escorted this afternoon by his parents, Brian and Dawn. Next year, he'll attend Marion University to play football on an undecided major. His favorite baseball moment is winning district in 12-year-old Little League. His most influential person in his baseball career is Ralph Hartnagel. Finally, he'd like to thank his family, his mom, his dad, Brian, Riley, and Max. The Fab Five, Davon, Chase, Luke, Zach Miller, Jacqueline, Uncle Tim, Dalton, Hunter, Mike, Hayden, Kyle, Coach Maddow, Coach Comer, and Tyler Houston. Ladies and gentlemen, our final senior, number 22, Garrett Ish.
What did you say? I missed a couple
Well, there we go. There's the conclusion of the senior night festivities here before the game, this Hoosier Crossroads Conference baseball matchup between the Bulldogs of Brownsburg and the Fishers Tigers. Now we'll move to a couple of awards to be given out, Chris, to some
there's winners in different sports, and the winner tonight, it is senior Hunter Liam.
Hunter Liam is awarded the Bulldog Backer Award. Senior Hunter Liam. So he will get his picture taken again in front of the 2013 sign. He's going to opt not to.
The Gary C. King Excellence in Character and Baseball Scholarship.
And now the Gary C. King Excellence in Character and Baseball Scholarship Award.
Mr. King devoted over 10 years of volunteer coaching at Little League and school baseball on playing fields in Brownsburg. He served on the Brownsburg Little League Board of Directors. He also managed the 1999 and 2001 Brownsburg Little League Major League teams that made the journey to compete at the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Gary King was the manager of the Little League 12 and under team that made the journey twice to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Very important man in Brownsburg baseball history, that's for sure.
The scholarship is $2,000 awarded to a Henry County senior that participated in varsity baseball and has qualities that exemplify the life of Gary King in excellence in character, academic and athletic achievement, and leadership. The recipient of the Gary C. King Excellent in Character and Baseball Scholarship.
1999 and 2001 dates for the 12 and under Brownsburg Little League team to make the trip to the Little League World Series.
And Kyle Yeager wins that award. Well deserved. That's fantastic.
Those 2 years, the Brownsburg Little League contingent representing the Great Lakes region and Little League World Series play in Williamsport.
Now all the seniors will gather behind a 2013 sign there at home plate. That's a nice photo op.
New athletic director Kelly Wagner out there on the field presenting those awards. I'd like to thank her for her support of the broadcast of Brownsburg Bulldog baseball on xrbradio.com and 1610 AM and also audiosportsonline.com. So we now have concluded the senior night activities and the awards given out on senior night.
It was well done.
And very well done. A very nice ceremony. The umpires are going to take their positions in the field. It appeared that the managers had already come to home plate and presented their lineups and so forth, so they may make another journey back there since we've had a bit of a pause, and Coach Mattingly will head out that way now.
We're going to do lineups and then anthem.
So we will have the starting lineups that will be announced here, and then we will have our national anthem after that. So the usual 5:30 start time. We're not too far off. We're 5:39 and got all that good stuff in before the first pitch, Chris.
I'm just glad it's great weather, Troy.
It is.
All the trouble we've had, this is beautiful. So you've got your Royals shirt on today.
I do.
The Royals played today?
I think they play tonight. They've been in California.
Okay.
Now they took 2 out of 3 from the Angels.
Very good.
But unfortunately, that was coming off a sweep by the Yankees, so that wasn't good. But
well, I know they've got a winning record. I did check standings today.
They do. They're playing
2 games above 500, I think, or 3. I don't know what happened last night.
I'm not sure. I don't know, actually. I'm not positive what they were. Chris and I always like to reach back into our past and talk about our favorite baseball teams. I grew up a Kansas City Royal fan, and Worley's a Cardinals fan. He's got his Cardinals hat on tonight. So
this afternoon, St. Louis, Thursday afternoon against the Mets. Not a big power team, but, St. Louis is famous for the good crowd support. 44,000 people for an afternoon game this afternoon.
It's a great sports city, St. Louis is, whether it's the Blues or the Cardinals. Or
I'm glad you mentioned the Blues. Good job there.
Yeah, there you go. Any of those types of things.
Disappointing into the playoffs there. But,
yep.
But I think that's tremendous. I don't know how many Major League hometowns you get for a Thursday afternoon to have almost a sellout.
Absolutely.
Maybe New York, a few others, but 44,000 people. I listened to the game a little bit coming home, and when they mentioned that, even I was surprised.
Well, the Royals won last night 9-5. They stayed at 20-17 as their record. And the Angels, they're that team that's hard to figure out there. They're at 15-25.
Wow.
With a very high payroll and just a ton of talent that is having some trouble gelling out there.
Look at
And
the Angels' payroll compared to Kansas City.
yeah, it's got
Incredible. And who's got the winning
absolutely.
record?
I would like to mention before we get to the starting lineups that something that I had reflected on yesterday in some social media is that Fred White, the longtime play-by-play announcer and color commentator in the Royals booth, him and Denny Matthews worked for 30 years together for the Kansas City Royals in announcing, and back in 1998 celebrated their 25th anniversary. And then Fred White moved into the marketing and so forth with the Royals and was with the organization for 40 years. And he passed away after what was unfortunately a rather brief battle with cancer. He passed away yesterday, and I reflected on the memories I had of Fred White and of being part of the call in 1985. I was in the 7th grade, a young boy, and a huge Kansas City Royals fan living in Kansas City at the time when the Royals won the World Series in 1985. And that call was exciting because it was a championship, but we don't, I always go back to Game 6 of '85 World Series with the controversial call at first base,
Sure.
and Jen Sundberg scoring the winning run in the bottom of the 9th in walk-off fashion, which we didn't call it walk-off fashion back then, but we do now for the Royals. So I'd just like to acknowledge Fred White and his legacy, and thoughts and prayers are with his family and the Royals organization as a whole. So wanted to get that in before we go over the starting lineups here.
Certainly, Troy, and a class guy, great guy in the community, like his close friend and confederate George Brett.
Absolutely, and it's one of the things that the Royals are really kind of known for. Even guys like Willie Wilson that played on that World Championship team in 1985 still involved in the community, and now we'll have our national anthem.
Hello, welcome to Brownsburg High School. My name is David Houston, and as a member of the Athletic Ambassadors, I would like to personally welcome both the Brownsburg and Fishers fans to tonight's contest. I hope that you will join me in promoting good sportsmanship by remembering that high school athletics.
Have a short message from the Brownsburg Athletic Ambassadors before the anthem. We'll go over the starting lineups as we take our beginning infield after the anthem.
And spectators that are present at this event by recognizing their performance in a positive manner. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Now, will you please all rise?
And now our national anthem.
All right, Troy, let's play ball.
And we are ready.
Night on senior
It
night.
is. We are ready for baseball from Mary Beth Rose Park in what is a sunny and warm and very comfortable Brownsburg, Indiana. We're, like Chris said, we're very thankful for that. Tonight is Hoosier Crossroads Conference baseball between the Brownsburg Bulldogs and the Fishers Tigers. Brownsburg comes in. Can you verify the record, Chris? Or I have them at 15-8. I don't think that may not be right.
13-8.
13-8 are the Bulldogs, as our fine scoreboard keeper alluded to a minute ago. Just wanted to confirm that. So the Dogs sit at 13-8. The Tigers are 13-14. And
at home, Troy, Brownsburg 4-4 on the road, 9-4. Of course, the rainouts we've had at home play a difference in that discrepancy as far as number of games played. But let's see if they can go out a winner here on senior night. Dylan Carter taking the mound. He's had a good year. He's pitched in 9 games, 3.0 ERA. And I have him he's got 2 wins, but he sees action in the bullpen quite a lot too.
Leading off and being for the Fishers Tigers is a shortstop, Garrett Slaughter. Derek Eli, the second baseman, would be second. The pitcher, Brandon Yoho, who will hit himself, is batting third. And defensively, the Dogs look like this. Behind the plate is Yeager, first base, Comer. Shipman is at second. Sampson at third. Hartnagel is at shortstop. Liam in left field. Houston in center. Ish is in right. And as Chris talked about, Carter is on the mound for the Dogs.
I'm glad they're going to give the senior a start here. Instead of coming out of the bullpen, Dylan Carter takes the mound for first pitch coming up.
The leadoff hitter, as we said, is shortstop number 1, Garrett Slaughter. He's a right-handed hitter for the Tigers. So Carter will be taking his signs from Yeager. Pretty solid defensive effort as of late for the Bulldogs. There were some games early on in the season where we talked about the ball seemed to be getting thrown around quite a bit. And Carter looks in, and we are underway. And the first pitch is grounded for a base hit to the left side. So Slaughter is on to lead the game off. And the Tigers have a runner at first with nobody out. Top of the first here from Mary Beth Rose Park, and we have no score.
Bit of an oddity there, Troy. Their leadoff hitter, at least he's leading off this game, leads their team in RBIs with 12. He does have 11 stolen bases, so I would expect him to be running here at first base, Slaughter.
Quite a large lead at first, and swing and a miss by the number 2 hitter. Number 3, the second baseman, Derek Eli. So Slaughter's at first. He takes a pretty hefty lead over there, being held on by Comer. Carter looks in, and Carter throws over to Comer, and back safely is Slaughter. Carter gets a sign from Yeager. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. Off-speed pitch.
Good breaking pitch there, Troy, low in the zone. Got the strike.
Had him guessing a bit. Runner at first, nobody out. A leadoff single by Slaughter. Eli is in there, right-handed hitter. He's the second baseman, and the number 2 hitter snapped throw to first, and Slaughter is back. The crowd continues to file in here. Somewhat late arriving, people milling around. Swing and a miss, strikeout, snap throw to first, and they don't get him. Slaughter gets back, standing up. So Eli strikes out. First strikeout of the game by Carter. First out recorded. Brandon Yoho, the pitcher, number 22, a right-handed hitter, bats third.
Comes in with a 276 average and 10 RBIs for Fishers.
First pitch misses high for a ball. Throw over to first again. So Slaughter has definitely gotten the attention of Carter. Nice pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, that breaking ball on the outside of the plate, and that was a beautiful pitch there by the senior Carter.
Really kind of froze Yoho at the plate. Here's the 1-1. High pitch, and Yoho went up and got it. Fouls it over the booth. 2 strikes.
And the runner was breaking from first base on that.
So the hit and run was on. Yoho, probably why he went reaching out of the zone for one to try and get the ball in play. Comer continues to hold Slaughter at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On Yoho, here's the 1-2. Throw to first instead, and he's back safely. The 1-2 pitch is grounded just foul down the third base line. Really close down the third base line. So third baseman Sampson was making a break that way. Just outside the chalk.
That's the home plate umpire's call, and he signaled it right away. It was definitely close down there at third. As to fair or foul, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Here's the 1-2. High and outside of it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball's driven to left field, charging hard and making the catch in left field as Liam gets the ball in quickly. And Slaughter hustles back to first base with the head first slide. So nice play out there by Hunter Liam.
Yes, indeed. Had to charge that ball, came on, made a nice catch.
Did a couple of things really well there. He hustled, broke with the crack of the bat, had good judgment on the ball, and got the ball back in really fast.
That's right.
They really had a chance to get Slaughter at first base. So a leadoff single in jeopardy of being wasted by the Tigers. Their leadoff hitter Slaughter is at first base, and there are 2 outs. And Connor Christensen, the center fielder, he is a lefty. He's the cleanup hitter for the Tigers, is in there.
For a cleanup hitter, he's batting .221 with 8 RBIs. Fisher's more of a hitting and defense team. They came in averaging 4.0 runs per game, whereas Brownsburg 7.3 runs per game.
Inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 out, top of the first here. Runner at first, no score. Starting pitcher Dalton Carter on the mound, the senior. Pitches way inside, and that'll take the count to 3-0.
Senior catcher Kyle Yeager, we've been talking a little bit about him here, Troy. He's really good at blocking balls in the dirt. He's a good defensive catcher. Now, he has some trouble with throws down to second base, but he is certainly good behind the plate.
Throw over to first again, and that's probably the 10th time that Carter has thrown over to first base. Here's the 3-0. Outside ball 4, and the Tigers will have a runner in scoring position. Runners at first and second with 2 out here in the top of the first, and coming to the plate is the DH, Taylor Cantor, number 24. He's a right-handed hitter.
Taylor batting .190, but he has 11 RBIs. I don't know how that happened.
As Chris alluded to, the Tigers are not a high-scoring team. They rely on defense. Brownsburg averaging a little over 7 runs a game. They're a little over 4. First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Runners at first and second, 2 out. Taylor Cantor, the DH, the right-handed hitter at the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Carter looks on. Here's the 0-1. High and outside a bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Comer no longer holding on the runner. Runners at first and second. He takes up a defensive posture behind the bag and off the line just a bit at first base. That pitch is fouled away. The count remains 1-2.
Not much wind to speak of here today, Troy. Just a slight breeze out to right center field.
A real comfortable breeze.
Yes.
Carter looks on. Here's the 1-2. Driven to center. Oh, and a nice play by Hartnagel, and that'll wrap it up.
There's your MVP again.
Driven to center field, a diving catch by Hartnagel. Nice play out there, and the Bulldogs get out of runners at first and second. No damage done. We'll go to the bottom half of the first with no score. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters provide severe weather sheltering and personal safety needs. They are located in Pittsboro and are open 7 to 7. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters can be reached at 317-361-8029 and found on the web at SuperiorSafeRooms.com. Offense, defense, privacy fence, picket fence, chain link fence, all the fencing styles to fit your needs. Available at ICR Fence Company. ICR provides free on-site estimates at your convenience. Please call us at 317-858-8648 or check the web at www.icrfence.com. ICR is a local business and proud supporter of Brownsburg baseball and all Dogs athletics. So a hit and a walk by the Tigers in the top half of the first. A really nice play by Hartnagel at shortstop on the diving catch at a ball that had eyes for center field and a base hit, possibly saved a run by doing so. So we'll go to the bottom half of the first. The Dogs will have Michael Hartnagel, and as is the baseball tradition, you make a nice play, lead off the next inning. So
you got it, Troy.
Hartnagel, the shortstop, will lead it off. Tyler Houston in center field will bat second, and Hayden Shipman, the second baseman, will bat third. If anybody gets on, we'll see Cody Gill, the DH, hitting for the pitcher Dalton Carter.
Big crowd, and we've got a good-sized crowd beyond the left field wall there, on top of a pickup and any seats they can have. So the left field crowd returns.
You always like to see those little nuances in baseball. The left field crowd. They park their pickup truck out there and sit on it and watch over the top of the fence. So before we get underway, Chris, we got a big night in sports here in Indiana. The track is underway. We talked about the weather allowed the practice at IMS to go on as scheduled today, and a lot of high speeds in the Pacers, of course, and what could be a deciding game in their series with the Knicks tonight.
Yeah, that is big, and I don't know. I think, is that an 8 o'clock start for the Pacers or 7 o'clock?
8 o'clock start on TNT.
Thank you, Adam.
Reggie Miller will be in the house at Madison Square Garden doing the game for TNT. Hartnagel leads it off. The first pitch to him is outside for a ball, 1-0. Popped up right at first base. That's going to get out of play. Count goes to 1-1. You know, it's game 5 for the Pacers, but I got to tell you, I really would like to see this end tonight.
Sure.
And you kind of have that feeling. If you don't, you got to come back here, and then they're just playing for their lives. Hartnagel pops it up to center field. Christensen camps underneath it and makes the catch. So Hartnagel leads off with a fly out to center field, and there's one out. Nobody on, no score, bottom of the first.
That's only his first at bat. You know the senior Hartnagel wants to have a big night here. Just kind of anxious on that one, swung at it, got it up in the air to center field. But yeah, Troy, I was glad the Pacers won that last game. I thought that was important to go up 3-1.
Very
protected
important.
Home court there and got that win. So sure would like to see him wrap it up.
First pitch is in there, just missed on the outside corner for a ball, 1-0. Tyler Houston, the center fielder, batting second. He's up there, the righty. Fouls it right at first base. That'll get out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Tyler Houston leads the team in slugging percentage, 845. He has a 423 batting average, tied for the lead in RBIs on the team at 22. He's had an outstanding season.
The ball is driven high and deep to left field. Going back and watching it leave the ballpark is Topman. And a first inning home run to left field for Tyler Houston, the center fielder.
Boy, that was a blast. Just below the scoreboard, the bottom of the scoreboard out there in left field. He got all of that one.
So the Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead, bottom of the first, on the home run by Houston.
That's his 6th homer of the year.
Hayden Shipman bats third. He's a right-handed hitter. He's the second baseman. So Yoho, after giving up the home run, looks in, and here's the pitch. Fouls it away, strike 1.
I'm sure the Bulldogs are glad to score that first run, get out to a lead here on senior night.
Hayden Shipman honored earlier before the game, as was Hartnagel for senior night. He has not made his decision on college yet, but plans on playing baseball at that next level. Pitch is outside for ball 1, 1-1.
Shipman batting 439 with 19 RBIs, so that's third most on the team. He's been a big contributor this year.
Big swing and a miss by Shipman on the pitch inside, strike 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Dogs lead at 1-0, bottom of the first on the home run by Houston. Big breaking ball is hit to the left side for a base hit. So Shipman is aboard, the senior on senior night. And he'll be at first base for the DH, Cody Gill. Gill is the DH, and he is hitting for the pitcher, Dalton Carter. You have to pardon my sniffling and occasional remove the headset and cough tonight. I'm battling something. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't like it. So I apologize for that. Throw over to first, and Shipman is back easily.
Cody Gill, the DH, batting 422.
And that ball gets by the catcher, and Shipman will go to second base. So Reed lets one slip by. Advances the runner to scoring position. So the Dogs are in business here in the bottom of the first. They lead 1-0 on the home run by Houston. Hayden Shipman follows it with a base hit to left. He advances on the wild pitch. He's at second base, and Cody Gill's got something to work with. He takes a pitch inside for ball 2, 2-0.
You know, his pitcher for Fishers, the ace of the staff, Brandon Yo, he has 5 complete games in 9 starts. A fine 3.0 ERA.
Big swing and a miss by Gill for a strike.
It was a good pitch there.
Real nice pitch. 3.08 ERA, you said?
3.0.
3.0 ERA. Bulldogs averaging a little over 7 runs a game. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Runner at second. 2-1 is fouled off the catcher's gear. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Cody Gale, the DH, 2-2 count. The righty number 13 is in there with a man in scoring position. The Dogs lead at 1-0. Yoho looks on, gets the sign from Reed. Looks back to second. Here's the 2-2. Driven to left field and fielded nicely by the third baseman. Snapped over to first. He took his foot off the bag, but he got back in time and got him. So the runner does not advance on the ground ball to the left side. So 2 outs now. Runner at second. He remains in scoring position. And Hunter Liam made a nice play in the top of the first. Left fielder, number 20. He's a righty.
Liam batting .354 coming into this senior night game with 10 RBIs on the season.
First pitch is a strike, down and inside the zone. I believe it was Liam that provided us with the walk-off base hit against Zionsville to the left side that scored Hartnagel from third. Pitch is fouled away for strike 2, 0-2. 2 outs, runner at second base. The runner out there is Hayden Shipman, the second baseman. He singled, advanced on a wild pitch. He followed Tyler Houston, who hit a home run to left field. Dogs lead at 1-0. Pitch is fouled away. Reaching out of the zone a little bit there.
Brownsburg comes into this game having won 3 in a row. You want to get hot here for sectionals next week. So doing well. They'd like to get that 4th win in a row tonight.
It seems like things are kind of coming together a little bit here. If they're going to come together, this is as good a time as any. Looks the runner back. Ball is lifted to center field and caught by Christensen. So he hit it right on the button, but right to Christensen in center. So we'll go to the top half of the second inning. The Bulldogs lead at 1-0 on the home run by Tyler Houston. What is a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs, so whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit Farm Agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Dogs lead at 1-0. We go to the top half of the second inning on senior night here at Mary Beth Rose Park, and what is a very sunny and very comfortable and nice night for baseball in Brownsburg.
Beautiful night.
It is. Hoosier Crossroads Conference baseball between the Bulldogs of Brownsburg and the Fishers Tigers. I was trying to think, how long has the program at Fishers been around now?
I thought about that earlier, too. I would say, is this their 3rd season? I've never seen them in football.
So we're being told the 06-07 season was their first. So we're in about, probably would be the 6th year, I think, of varsity athletics.
Doesn't seem like that long.
Beautiful facility up there at Fishers. If you've ever been by it on I-69 on the...
I would expect them to have some money for the program.
Left side up there. Really nice facility.
Adam, as always, our PA announcer, a fountain of knowledge here.
Yes, he is. Corey Reed will lead it off for the Tigers.
We may have to ask Adam for some help on this, but I know the sectional draw was out, and Brownsburg will be at Avon next week. I forget who it's Decatur Central is their first opponent.
Brownsburg will take on the Decatur Central Hawks in the first round of sectionals on Wednesday evening. I think that's a 6 o'clock first pitch. The first pitch into Taylor Cantor, the DH, is a strike. And he grounds it to third base down the line and foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Cantor, the DH, wears number 4. He's a righty. The Fishers Tigers in the gray pants with the red stripe down the side. Red jerseys with the white stripe under the sleeve, white numbers. The Bulldogs are sporting the... Got him looking. Nice pitch in there by Carter. He really froze the hitter on the outside corner. The Bulldogs, as I was saying, wearing the 1980s vintage Astro replica jerseys, but in purple instead of orange. They're the good luck jersey. Had a lot of luck with these jerseys, so they're going to stick with it. Strike on the outside corner to Corey Reed. He's the catcher. Is that right?
I didn't like these jerseys too much
Oh.
when I first saw them, but they have been winning in them, so we'll keep with
The
it.
hitter is not Reed. Sorry about that. It's Cole Dalton, the third baseman. He flies it to right field, and Ish comes over just outside of fair territory and makes the catch. So 2 up and 2 down for Carter here in the second. Dogs lead at 1-0 on the first inning home run by the center fielder Tyler Houston.
You know, senior Garrett Ish has played a good right field this year. He has made a number of plays out there. You don't normally think of right field as a defensive position unless you have to, throw the ball in from the outfield to third base or whatever, but he has done a good job.
Pitches down the dirt, gets away from the catcher Yeager, ball 1. I go back to kind of a tale of 2 teams, a doubleheader we had against Zionsville here. 14 innings of baseball. In the first inning, ball's grounded past third and foul for strike 1, 1-1. The first night of that game, they really threw the ball around and made some errors. I think they gave up about 8 runs in that game, maybe more than that. End up losing. They turn it around in the break and come out, play a really nice game defensively in the second game and win. And now they've started to kind of stick with that mold a little more.
Sure have. And I remember now, Troy, that Coach Mattingly went out and had a bit of a tirade after they threw that ball around. Since then, things have turned around.
Ball's lifted high and deep to left field, and it is gone.
He turned that ball around for a home run.
So Ben Pritchett, the right fielder, turns on one and just rips it just left of the scoreboard, between the scoreboard and the left field foul pole.
His first homer of the year.
First home run of the year, and it ties this game at 1. So a home run by Houston in the first, a home run by Ben Pritchett, the right fielder, here in the second for the Tigers, and this game's tied 1 apiece.
Ben Pritchard, a senior, and he got all of that ball.
Showed some nice bat speed, really turned it around.
Yeah, that was a line drive. Wasn't any, high lob out there to left field. That ball got out of here in a hurry.
And Jacob Topman, the left fielder, lifts one high and deep to left field, and it looks like Liam had some trouble finding it. He finds it and hauls it in for out number 3. So a home run in the first by Houston, a home run in the second by Ben Pritchett from Fishers. This game is tied at 1 apiece as we go to the bottom half of the second. Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever, but styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way and very much out of the ordinary. So a little battle of some power here early on. The game's tied at 1 apiece on a home run by each team as we go to the bottom half of the second.
Troy, is it true when you get warm weather, the ball flies farther? I know major leaguers always talk about that.
Well, that's always been what we say. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. But it definitely is a theory that has stuck with baseball at every level for a long time. Hot and dry weather, the ball flies out of the ballpark, has always been the saying.
Yep.
If it's real humid out, the ball will have a tendency to kind of hang a little bit,
Makes sense.
not make it through the more damper, thick air. So Sam Comer, the first baseman, number 24, the righty, will lead us off. This game's tied at 1 apiece in the bottom half of the second. Yoho delivers and lifts one to right field, charging hard and making the catch is Pritchett in right field. So first pitch swinging, Comer being aggressive at the plate and flies out to right field. That'll bring up Caleb Sampson, the third baseman. What year is Sampson?
Caleb's a sophomore.
Caleb's a sophomore. I was thinking a freshman, but I didn't think that was right. So played a really, really nice year, I think, for being a sophomore here at the varsity level for the Dogs.
He's played a lot of innings for him. Struggled a bit at the plate. He's batting an even 200 coming in. But with that 200 average, he does have 7 RBIs, so had some production there.
1 ball and 1 strike to Sampson. Been pretty solid defensively at third base and even pitched some.
Yeah, right.
Ball is driven to left field, fielded nicely by the shortstop Slaughter. Long throw over to first, and they get him. Nice dig over there by the first baseman, Ben Abney. So 2 up and 2 down for the Dogs. And here's the catcher, Kyle Yeager. Yeager honored on senior night tonight. He'll be attending Indiana University next year and studying physical therapy.
Batting .271 with 9 RBIs.
First pitch is a ball outside, 1-0. Ball is lifted into the infield. Settling underneath it is Eli, the second baseman, and he hauls it in for the third out. So we'll go to the bottom half, or we'll go to the top half of the third inning, tied at 1 apiece. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 1 run on 2 hits and no errors identically for the Brownsburg Bulldog. Nothing makes you think of the future like holding it in your arms. The wonder of being a new parent includes planning for your child's future, and now's the time to start looking to someone who's been there from the start. State Farm agent Pete Fay in Brownsburg can ensure your life insurance will keep pace with your family's growing financial needs. So for more information on life insurance, visit State Farm agent Pete Fay. He's located at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Tied up at 1 apiece. We're going to the top of the third. Yeager remains. Dalton Carter remains on the mound for the Dogs. Yeager behind the plate. He's going to change his gear. He'll be out there in just a minute for the rest of warm-ups as Gill comes out, does the warm-up catcher work. Home run in the first by Tyler Houston. The only offense for the Dogs. Ben Pritchett, the right fielder, homers for the Tigers, tied up at 1 apiece as we go to the third inning.
To lead off the inning for Fishers, shortstop, number 1,
Garrett Slaughter, the shortstop, number 1, the right-handed hitter, will lead off the inning for the Tigers. He singled in the first. Advanced the second on a wild pitch. Ball is grounded over to Sampson at third. Fielded nicely on the high hop. Gets it over to Comer for the out easily. So 1 up and 1 down, top of the third for the Fishers Tigers.
Next up, second baseman, number 3, Derek Eli.
Derek Eli, the second baseman, steps in. Number 3, he's a right-handed hitter.
We're moving right along here, Troy, in this game.
We are. Got a little bit of a late start because of the senior night festivities, but not too late, just delayed by about probably 15 minutes or so. First pitch is high and outside for a ball, 1-0. Carter looks on, and here's the 1-0. Grounded to third and foul past the bag. Sampson was breaking that way, but the ball's out of play.
No umpire controversies or arguments so far. We've
Not
seen
so
quite a few of that this year,
Yes,
so that's
we have.
good. Still early.
You mentioned Coach Manley getting a little fired up and giving what was probably a very motivating speech to his troops in the first half of that doubleheader earlier this year against the Zionsville Eagles here at Mary Beth Rose Park. That ball misses 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Got him on the outside corner.
You know, Troy, these guys don't only just play the game. Of course, they have practice throughout the week. I wonder, how much a coach works on defense, or what do you work on at this, late point in the year?
Well, I think at this point of the year, that ball pitch is fouled away. The count stays at 2-2. At this point, I think you're just kind of working on tightening things up, and trying to be sure that you're not going to have mental errors defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one of the things you find at this level is here's the 2-2. Ball is lifted, foul, and out of play. That's one of the things you find at this level is that a lot of the teams, you're going to have some teams that really stand out hitting-wise and teams that are going to stand out power-wise. But defensively is where you lose games.
That's
you
right.
really do.
Sure.
And if you're going to throw a three up there in the econ, that ball's grounded really shortly to first base. The ball's thrown. Comer comes off the bag. So that ball may have bounced off home plate or right by home plate. It stayed fair. Yeager was running towards it, as was the pitcher, Carter. The throw to first over to Comer takes him off the bag.
We just talked about defense, and that's
Pitcher number 22, Brandon Yoho.
That'll go down as a hit. Infield
there you
single.
go. So that is important. You're right, Troy.
No error on the play, but that pitch misses for a ball, 1-0.
It was a tough play.
It was a tough play, but I think it's a catcher's ball.
Yes.
The ball, chase the runner down the first base line, get it, and try and make that throw.
Much easier play for the catcher than a pitcher, especially a right-handed pitcher, to get over there and then turn around and try and fire to first.
Yeah, absolutely. That pitch misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at first. Lifted high to right field, and chasing it and making a nice play is the second baseman, Shipman. Hayden Shipman makes kind of an over-the-shoulder catch. Him and Ish were both coming in together. Nice communication out there in right field. And that's an example. That ball could have very easily fallen in for a hit, and you're going to end up with runners at first and second with 2 outs or with 1 out instead of 2 outs and a runner at first.
That was a really nice running over-the-shoulder catch there by the second baseman. Playing good defense, as we just talked about, important, and certainly it's going to win or lose you games, and maybe that's some of the things you're going to work on in practice at this late point, is staying sharp mentally.
Grounded past first and foul for strike 1. No balls and 1 strikes. Connor Christensen, the center fielder, he's the cleanup hitter. He's a lefty at the plate. And Derek Eli at first base. He got there by virtue of an infield single. Breaking ball misses high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 out. Runner at first base. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors for the Dogs. Here's the 1-1. On the inside corner for a strike, 1-2.
Two men out here. Dalton Carter would like to get this batter and get out of this inning.
Carter, the senior, delivers the 1-2. Lifted to center field for a base hit. Eli makes a turn at second base. He'll stay there. So the Tigers have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Runners at first and second.
It's a well-hit ball there,
out.
line drive to center.
And here's the DH, Taylor Cantor. He hits for the first baseman, Ben Abney. And you're right, Chris. That was a really nice hit right up the middle. Cantor's a righty. Runners at first and second. Carter looks on, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Beautiful pitch.
Real nice pitch. It looks like Carter has real control over his pitches tonight.
Yes.
It seems like he's putting them right about where he wants them.
Looks good. He's in a little bit of trouble here with 2 outs in the third.
Ball is grounded to second base. They'll go the short way. Hartnagel to Shipman and 3 outs. So after 2.5, we'll go to the bottom half of the third, tied up at 1 apiece. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for being with us for this broadcast and throughout the Brownsburg baseball season. Hoosier Crossroads Conference Baseball on xrbradio.com and 1610 AM Brownsburg. You can also not only listen to us, but watch us on audiosportsonline.com. And we thank everybody that has joined us tonight for this regular season and conference game between the Fishers Tigers and the Brownsburg Bulldogs. The Dogs come in 13-8. The Tigers come in at 13-14. The difference in those records by virtue of some bad weather we've had. The Dogs haven't had a chance to make up games and will probably not make up all of those games as we head to sectionals next Wednesday. The Bulldogs will be playing at Avon on 6 o'clock. They'll be facing the Decatur Central Hawks in the first round of sectional play.
Yeah, they do open sectional play, and they are the first game against Decatur Central.
I don't have any stats for DC. Do you happen to know by chance?
I don't.
Chris is our reliable stat guy. They're not in our conference, so we don't have them in the conference standings.
Don't have them.
The right fielder, Garrett Ish will lead off. He's a right-handed hitter, number 22. Tied up at 1 apiece, bottom of the third. First pitch by Yoho misses down in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
Ish, a hot hitter, improved his average to 492.
Big swing and a miss by Ish for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Ish, the leadoff hitter, tied at 1 apiece. Pitch gets away down in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Bottom half of the third. Yoho looks on, and here's the 2-1. Grounded base hit to left field between third and short. Ish makes a wide turn at first. He'll stay right there, and the leadoff man's aboard for the Bulldogs.
Slammed a single between short and third base into left field there.
Real nice vision at the plate. Turned on that pitch and just drove it between the shortstop and the third baseman. And here's the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, Michael Hartnagel. He's got a runner at first.
We might see a bunt here, or at least try to move that runner with nobody out.
Hartnagel's got some speed, probably one of the most aggressive and speedy base runners on the Brownsburg team. He's up there, looks like he's taken all the way. Strike one, 0-1. So Garrett Ish at first. He's being held on over there by the first baseman, Ben Abney. Brandon Yoho delivers. Fastball in the outside corner is fouled away by Hartnagel. He's down in the count 0-2. Hartnagel popped up, flew out in the first. Made a really nice defensive play in the top of the first. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 0-2. Big breaking ball just missed on the inside corner. Came in a little high. Bottom dropped out of that one.
It did, high and inside, and he stood there. I almost thought he was going to let it hit him.
Hartnagel fights that off. We mentioned the Dogs will be leading on. They'll be opening sectional play for the sectional 6 o'clock at Avon High School in Avon on next Wednesday evening. They'll be playing the Decatur Central Hawks, who are 7-13 on the season. The 1-2 is grounded to the right side. Taylor made double play ball, 2nd for 1, back to first, and they're not going to get Hartnagel because of his speed. So they force Ish at second for the first out of the inning, but Hartnagel is aboard by virtue of the fielder's choice.
Nice play by their second baseman there. Derek Eli scooped it up, turned and threw to second base to get the lead runner.
The ground ball,
nice play.
Ground ball kind of turned him around a little bit and handcuffed him at the last moment. Made a nice play of scooping it up and turning and getting the out at second. And here's a center fielder, Tyler Houston, who homered in the first. Throw over to first to try and get Hartnagel back, and he's in there head first with the slide. 1 run on 4 hits and no errors for the Tigers. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. Yoho looks in. Here's the pitch. Hit high and deep to right field, and going back is Pritchett. It is down and off the track. Hartnagel's going to probably try and score from third. He's being waved home. He will score. Collision at the plate. He's safe.
Catcher's hurt.
And
Hartnagel went in hard and low. There was a collision in front of the plate, well in front of the plate, when the throw came in, and he hit the catcher in his knee, looked like, and
so the catcher,
that young man's hurt.
So the catcher, Corey Reed, is down between home plate and third, holding his left thigh. Hartnagel came in hard, which that's what you're supposed to do.
He did, and the throw bounced in front of home plate. Catcher tried to get that throw, and right almost at the same time, Hartnagel hit him. And after the collision, when the catcher went down, Hartnagel kind of crawled to home plate and touched the plate for the second run. Anybody watching on Audio Sports Online had a good view of that home plate collision. It's a tough play.
Coach Mattingly comes out, and along also the Fisher's coaching staff has some discussion with the umpire about where this happened. The throw was up the third base line a bit,
yes.
So the catcher was out of the circle, or right on the edge of the circle, around home plate when he made the grab. Really gutsy play by the catcher, Reed, from Fishers, to stay in there. Hartnagel coming hard from third base.
Another example why catching is such a tough position. You got to try and gather that throw in with a runner barreling down on you at home plate.
And it looked like we had just a great view of it from the booth here. Hartnagel came in diving for the plate at home. His shoulder made just square contact with the left thigh of the catcher, Reed. And what you hope now is, Chris, is that that really hurt a lot, but he doesn't have anything as far as his knee going on as an injury and so forth.
Or a turn.
That leg was planted pretty firmly in anticipation of trying to make the tag.
That makes Tyler Houston having a big ball game. He's got a home run. I'm not sure if we're going to score that a double or a triple, but he's got both of the Brownsburg RBIs. And a trainer's going to come out now to have a look at the young man here at the plate.
So the medical staff from Hendricks Regional will take a look at the Fishers catcher, Reed. The coaching staff gets around. They're trying to get his gear off. He is moving around and talking. Looks like the pain or injury isolated to his left leg. So the catcher, Corey Reed's mom, looks like his mother's come out and showing some concern, and we just wish him the best.
Troy, did you ever try catching?
No.
I did a little bit.
I remember catching, and this, you had those memories, especially athletic memories from way deep in your childhood that just kind of stick out. I remember catching in my first year of Little League catching. So I couldn't even tell you how old I was. I was probably 5 or 6. Didn't start as early back then. I think and all I remember the whole time is that when you were catching, you had to wear a cup. And so, and I think we can talk about that on the air. It's just athletic gear, right? Yep. And I remember being behind home plate and the cup sliding down the leg of my pant legs of my uniform and ending up down by my shoe, only held in by the elastic there. So I obviously didn't have the proper gear. My son plays Little League Baseball now. Sure. He's 9, plays at Brownsburg. And he's got some, Under Armour sliding shorts with a nice place for that device.
You didn't have that equipment back
No,
then.
I sure didn't. And so he doesn't have that issue. But that's my fondest memory of catching.
Okay.
But I have definitely, at the years I played baseball, I've been witness to some really nasty collisions at home plate.
And you know this as well. Another hazard is just getting hit by the guy swinging the bat through the zone. That happened to me once. A catcher, I'll never forget that bat hitting me in the back of the head and knocking me over. And I said, this job's for somebody else.
Yeah, this job was for somebody else.
I finished the game, but that was it.
We are in a delay here, an injury timeout, if you will. The catcher, number 4 for Fishers, Corey Reed, injured in a collision at home plate with shortstop Michael Hartnagel from Brownsburg. Hartnagel was at first base, and Tyler Houston ripped a double to deep right, bounced off the track, and it looks like that Reed is up, and he'll get a nice round of applause from both the Brownsburg and Fishers faithful here at the game. He is walking on his own. He's got his arm around another member of the staff there. But it looks like he is moving that leg. Hartnagel's left shoulder just made square contact with the left thigh. May have been his right shoulder. Made a square contact with the left thigh of the catcher, Reed.
Yeah, I don't think it's a case of a twisted knee. I could be wrong, but
whatever the case is, we hope him the best. And so now the home plate umpire having some conversation with the Fishers dugout. Anytime that happens at any level, and somebody's injured and it's a collision at home plate, there's always going to be different interpretations of what exactly transpired or what the mindset was. To me, looked like a very clean play. That is a classic charging hard, trying to score from first on a double to right field against the fence. Hartnagel showing a lot of hustle. And like we said, Reed showed a lot of guts squaring up and planting that foot.
Absolutely.
It still fielded the ball. The ball was in his glove until the collision.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Certainly no harm intended. Just a good hard baseball play. They will, of course, replace their catcher. Is that number 1?
It looks like they're going to do some version of a double switch. Number one is the leadoff hitter. No, number one is the leadoff hitter, Garrett Slaughter, who was the shortstop. Looks like he'll be catching. And the shortstop is now number 2, Cole Dalton, who was at third base. And our third baseman will now be number 25, Mike Chikiri, which is the best way I can pronounce that.
Good enough.
Yep, Mike Chikiri will be at third. So
it's caused a big change in their lineup here.
So we're going to put Slaughter is at third. Our Slaughter is catching.
In the meantime, Brownsburg leads 2-1. Tyler Houston's driven in both runs. Shipman stands in.
Ball is lifted to left field, and coming in and making the catch is Topman. So throw in to home plate there. You have a runner at third base.
He did hold, went down the line a little bit, Troy, but then decided to go back.
So Tyler Houston stays at third on the fly to shallow center. Pretty hard hit ball, too.
Yes, and the left fielder was charging in, so probably a good decision to hold him there, even though the throw was a little offline to home plate. But
here's a right-handed hitter in DH, Cody Gill. Yoho stays on the mound, and that ball is lifted again to center field. Back towards the track, and hauling it in is Christensen. So a run in on some nice hustle by Hartnagel. Scores from first on the double by Houston. Houston left it stranded at third base, and after 3 innings, it's 2-1 Brownsburg. So some defensive shuffling for the Fishers Tigers as Reed, the catcher, goes out with the injury. So Slaughter will be behind the plate. And Cole Dalton will be at shortstop. And our third baseman will be Mike Chikiri, number 25. And we'll see how that's reflected in the lineup. I would imagine, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, that you'll have Chikiri hitting in the place of the catcher, Corey Reed, since he's the substitute.
Yeah.
So Mike Chikiri will take over the number 6 spot in the order. Everybody else was already in the game, so they'll stay offensively in their same spots.
Probably so.
Feel like I'm watching a Whitey Herzog game here, trying to figure out who went where and all of that. The double switch.
You know, the Bulldogs a little aggressive there. Both Hayden Shipman and Cody Gill, who made the last out swinging at first pitches. Maybe after that injury with the runner at third base, you'd like to see a couple pitches taken, a little more patient. But these are aggressive high school players, and they were swinging right away.
I would agree with that analogy 100%. So 2 balls and 1 strike, top half of the 4th inning, and he hits them. So the first batter is Mike Chikiri, the third baseman, who just came in the game.
Gets hit.
The first pitch to him, he takes one on the left shoulder. He's at first base. So Dalton Carter, the pitcher, hits him.
It's a fastball that drifted inside.
And here's the shortstop, Dalton. Dalton moved from third base to short. First pitch to him is outside for a ball, 1-0. Runner at first, nobody out. Ball grounded to the third, and it got past him. So Sampson went to his left to try and make the play. That's a seeing eye single to left field, and the Tigers are in business. Runners at first and second with nobody out, top half of the 4th. You know, that injury to your catcher is that's a motivating factor for that dugout. These guys
I didn't think about that.
Really going to want to tighten this
right.
up and try and get some runs on the board.
Then they had their first batter there hit by a pitch. Here's the man who had the home run.
Runners at first and second, nobody out, and swinging away up there is number 18, Ben Pritchett, who homered in the second to tie the game at 1 apiece. The Dogs lead it 2-1, top half of the 4th. Runners at first and second, nobody out for Fishers. Carter looks on. Misses outside for a ball, 1-1.
Pritchett, their 8th place hitter, no sign of a bunt. They're being aggressive here with runners on first and second and nobody out.
Here's the 1-1. Big breaking ball misses inside for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike, nobody out. The Tigers in business, as we said, runners at first and second here in the top half of the 4th.
Little action in the Brownsburg bullpen now. We'll try and get
Ball
you
is
another.
grounded to the right side for a hit. Turning the corner and going to be held at third base is Mike Chikiri, the third baseman, who was hit by a pitch as the leadoff hitter in this inning. And the bases are juiced and there's nobody out. And that will bring Coach Mattingly to the mound to have a talk with Carter. Warming up in the bullpen.
It's a right-hander. I can't make out that number.
Number 22. No? Number 23. Number 23 is Leclerc. David Leclerc.
Yeah, he pitched in the last game for Brownsburg.
He's a right-handed pitcher. Warming up in the pen. No action in the Fisher's pen. Sampson's going to take some warm-up tosses on the mound. So it looks like Carter's going to come out of the game. And he's going to go to third base. And Caleb Sampson, the third baseman, a sophomore, a right-handed pitcher, is going to come in relief. He inherits the bases loaded and nobody out, but he also inherits a 2-1 lead. 1 run on 6 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs.
Caleb Sampson's pitched 18 innings this year. Says he's given up 40 hits, so that's quite a bit, but a 3.44 ERA. He's going to come on here in relief. 4th inning.
So Dalton Carter goes to third base on the double switch.
You got to throw strikes in this situation. Bases loaded, coming in here in relief. A little pressure here to get the ball over the plate.
Sampson showed some nice control of his pitches as well.
Yes.
When we've seen him this year, especially for a sophomore. Number 15, Jacob Topman, the left fielder, steps in. He's a right-handed hitter. He's up there versus the sophomore and relief pitcher, Caleb Sampson. Bases are loaded, nobody out.
Jacob with 9 RBIs on the year. He's got a big chance to improve that number here.
Sampson looks on, and here's the pitch. Down in the dirt. Nice play by Yeager. Nice play by Yeager to keep it in front of him. That could have been a problem. 1 ball, no strikes.
He's been good at that all year. That was a good one there. Good stop by catcher Yeager.
Yeager has been fantastic behind the plate this season. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. So what you don't want to do, like you said, Chris, is get behind the hitter.
I shouldn't have said it.
But that's where we're at. 2 balls and no strikes, bases loaded, nobody out. The 2-0 in there for a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Yeah, we're in the 4th inning here, but I got a feeling this is a key moment in this game, Troy.
I would agree with that. Definitely a key moment. You're protecting a 1-run lead. Here's the 2-1. Grounded to second base, and that's just what they needed. 2nd for 1, over to Comer at first. They're not going to get him, and a run will score.
Boy, if you're going to hit the ball to anybody for Brownsburg, you want that ball to shortstop, and Hartnagel made the throw over to second for a easy out there. I thought they may be able to turn it, but that batter showed some good speed, beating out the throw down to first base.
Hartnagel fields it, tosses it to Shipman, and Hayden Shipman had some trouble making that turn and getting off a good throw to Comer at first. So runners at first and third now, 1 out, or run across. The game tied at 2 apiece. Top half of the 4th. Sampson fakes to third over to first. That's a balk in the majors this year, the new rule in place.
Thank goodness.
I agree. Sampson looks on. Here's the first pitch. Strike.
Third baseman in on the grass here against their leadoff hitter.
So Dalton in close. This is, if you want to play some small ball here, this is get a squeeze and advance that runner, cause some confusion by the Bulldogs. Here's the 0-1. Down in the zone for ball 1, 1-1. Garrett Slaughter, who is now the catcher, started the game at short. Moves to catcher on the injury to Reed. And here's the 1-1. On the outside corner for a strike, strike 2.
Nice pitch there. Great location. Low and on the outside corner.
1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. Game tied at 2 apiece. Runners at first and third. Sampson on the mound in relief for the Bulldogs. At the plate is Slaughter. Here is the 1-2. Fouled away behind the Tiger dugout. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good pitch there. Fouled off. Stayed with the fastball. That on the inside half of the plate.
Sampson looks on, gets the sign from Yeager. Look over to first, snap throw, back.
Boy, with a runner at third, you want to be careful on that throw to first in that situation.
You
Troy.
read my mind. Real snap throw over to first, too. Nice job by Comer to get a glove on it. Here's the 1-2. High, but fouled away. Chased one out of the zone a little bit there. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the fourth. A run across here in the fourth for the Tigers. Breaking, looping curveball inside is fouled off the fist. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I'd say he chased another one there. That ball was inside, right on his hands.
Caleb Sampson in relief of Dalton Carter. He looks on, and here's the 1-2. Hit high in the air to left field and deep. Going back to the track and hauling it in is Liam. The runner will score from third. The runner at first will stay there, and on the sacrifice fly, allowed sacrifice fly, and out to left field. The Tigers take the lead 3-2. Liam battling the sun out there, makes the catch, gets it in quickly, but the run was...
Good catch on the warning track on a well-hit ball. Gets the RBI, and the man scores from third. 2 out now.
So 3-2 Fishers. 2 outs, runner on first. Throw down to second to get the runner, and he's in there safely. So Jacob Topman steals second. Derek Eli, the hitter. He's the second baseman, a right-handed hitter. No balls and 1 strike to him. Sampson looks on, and here's the 0-1. Way out of control there as it goes over the head of the hitter and back to the screen. Nothing Yeager can do about that. That's a wild pitch, and the runner advances to third.
He tried to throw a breaking ball there and just slipped out of his hand.
Yeah. Looked like a really good breaking ball for about the first 30 feet, and then it never did anything.
Are high school pitchers allowed to keep a rosin bag out there on the back of the mound? I don't think so.
I don't know. I would think, yeah, they can keep a bag. Yeah, both teams, the ball is fouled right at first, and Comer makes a nice play battling the sun to stop the bleeding a little bit. So 2 runs across, 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Tigers, 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Dogs. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Fishers leads it 3-2. Special thanks to Sean Shipman and our friends at OEM Products. OEM Products offers tubular and machine components along with an electro-polishing service. They are located at 121 Commerce Drive in Danville, and they're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and they can be reached at 317-718-0958. Junk Dogs and Moving Dogs is a friendly solution to junk removal and moving. They're owned and operated by firefighters, veterans, and service members. Junk Dogs and Moving Dogs provide screened, uniformed employees to customers for their junk removal and moving needs. They are open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and can be reached at 1-800-712-5865. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for being with us for tonight's broadcast of Hoosier Crossroads Conference Baseball. The Brownsburg Bulldogs and the Fishers Tigers from Mary Beth Rose Park in Brownsburg, Indiana. Beautiful night for baseball. Nice crowd on hand. Nice sunny skies, good weather. We alluded to earlier that the Dogs are 13-8. The Tigers come into this game at 13-14, and the disparity in those records due to some real weather challenges we've had this year.
Left fielder, number 20, Hunter Liam.
So Hunter Liam, the left fielder, the right-handed hitter, number 20, will lead off the inning.
Brandon Soho, the starting pitcher, going to continue for the Fishers Tigers. here in his start of the fourth inning of work.
First pitch is outside. It gets away from the catcher. Slaughter goes back to the screen. No balls for 1 strike. Liam will lead us off. Comer and Sampson. If anybody gets on, we'll see Kyle Yeager, the catcher. Yoho looks on. Here's the 1-0. Inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Senior night here at Brownsburg. Nice ceremony before the game honoring the senior members of the baseball squad. Yoho looks on, and here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss by Liam. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hunter Liam, one of those seniors, IU bound. Troy, you got to like that.
I do like that. I like it a lot. Grounded to the right side to the first baseman, Abney. He struggles with it a little bit, picks it up, keeps it in front of him, steps on the bag. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. The Dogs trail 3-2, and here's Sam Comer, the first baseman. Talked about Liam going to IU. He going to major in marketing and finance at the Kelly School of Business. Will also take part in the Hutton Honors College while at Indiana University. Very respectable repertoire there.
Anytime you use that name, Kelly School of Business, that's good.
First pitch misses for a ball, 1-0. Ball is grounded towards third, but foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. 6 seniors honored tonight before the game. Yoho looks on. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball. Nice pitch in there for a strike, 1-2. That ball almost looked like a knuckleball. It just took forever to get to the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 out. 3-2 Fishers, bottom of the 4th. Here's the 1-2. Down in the dirt. Nice play by the catcher Slaughter to keep it in front of him. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yoho looks on. Here's the 2-2. Outside corner, got him looking. So the backwards K. Comer goes down on strikes. 2 outs now and nobody on. The Dogs trail by a run here in the bottom of the 4th.
Nice fastball there. May have been on the outside corner, maybe a little wide, but called up and rung out for a strikeout there with 2 outs now.
Here's Caleb Sampson. Started off the game at third base. He moved to pitch on the double switch in relief of Carter. Carter moving to third base. The first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. Inside corner, and Sampson crowding the plate a bit, turned away from it, but it's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Grounded to short, fielded nicely by Dalton. Long throw over to first. Abney, and the Dogs go 3 up and 3 down in the 4th. We go to the top half of the 5th. 3-2 Tigers. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters provide severe weather sheltering and personal safety needs. They are located in Pittsburgh and are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters can be reached at 317-361-8029 and found on the web at superiorsaferooms.com. Offense, defense, privacy fence, picket fence, chain link fence. All the fencing styles to fit your needs. Available at ICR Fence Company. ICR provides free on-site estimates at your convenience. Please call us at 317-858-8648 or check the web at www.icrfence.com. ICR is a local business and proud supporter of Brownsburg baseball and all Bulldog athletics. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for being with us for tonight's broadcast and being with us throughout the season here on xrbradio.com at 1610 a.m. and also on audiosportsonline.com. If you'd like to not only listen to the broadcast but watch us, you can log on to audiosportsonline.com and just click on the icon for Brownsburg High School baseball. And we have video from behind home plate in the booth that you can watch and also listen to the broadcast at the same time. So we go to the top half of the 5th inning, and the Dogs lead this game the Fishers Tigers lead this game 3-2. 3 runs on 6 hits and no errors for the Tigers. 2 runs and 4 hits, no errors for the Dogs.
A new pitcher here for Brownsburg. David Leclerc going to come on.
David Leclerc, who was warming up in the bullpen, comes on to pitch. He's a right-handed pitcher, number 23.
A junior.
And it looks like Sampson has returned to third base. Sampson's returned to third. I don't know where Carter has gone. Maybe he's just come out of the game. So Carter has come out of the game, the starting pitcher. Sampson, who pitched an inning of relief, now goes back to third. And our new pitcher is number 23, Leclerc. So we'll make some more adjustments here.
Pitcher number 22, Brandon Yoho.
Brandon Yoho, the starting pitcher for the Tigers, will lead off this inning. He's held the Dogs to 2 runs on 4 hits through 4. And Leclerc's first pitch is in there for a strike.
Important inning to keep Fishers off the scoreboard for Brownsburg here.
Had some discussion of whether or not the pitcher's name was Leclerc or Leclerc, so we're going to go with Leclerc. Pitch is fouled away for a strike.
I think that's right.
No balls and 2 strikes. So Sampson goes back to third base. The starting pitcher, Dalton Carter, comes out of the game. Here's the 0-2. Reaching for it and fouls it away.
Nice pitch there to get that second strike. Had him reaching for one.
Ball is driven high in the air and deep to left, and see you later. That ball clears the left field fence for a home run. So a breaking ball just kind of hangs in there, hung a little too long. And number 22, Brandon Yoho, helps himself out. He is the pitcher of record right now for the Tigers. And they take a 4-2 lead with the home run to left field.
It was a well-hit ball over the left center field wall. His second home run of the year.
Those are easy to call, left no doubt.
And the starting pitcher, as you said, helps himself big time. Fisher's up 4-2.
So Connor Christensen, the center fielder, the left-handed hitter, in there now. Nobody on, no outs. A leadoff home run by Yoho gives the Tigers a 4-2 lead. Top of the 5th inning. Leclerc in relief of Sampson, who was in relief of Dalton. That ball is ripped to right field, and it's going to get past the right fielder-ish and go all the way to the fence. And in there with a stand-up double is Connor Christensen, the center fielder.
Now up the DH number 24, Taylor Cantor.
Well-hit line drive, rolled all the way to the fence, and they're seeing the ball well here off the Brownsburg pitcher.
So the Fishers Tigers have really got eyes in this inning.
They do. Kyle Yeager going to show some good senior leadership. Catcher going to go out and talk to his pitcher now. More action in the Brownsburg bullpen starting.
So right-handed pitcher will try and get the number for you. Number 25. Warming up in the bullpen. So trouble here early. That ball is in there for a strike, 0-1. Taylor Cantor, the DH, in there. Number 24, the right-handed hitter. So number 25 is Cabrich. He's a right-handed pitcher warming up in the dugout. Or in the bullpen, sorry. No balls and 2 strikes now. Here's the 0-2. Big swing and a miss and a nice strikeout there.
Threw that fastball right by him.
By Leclerc.
That's a big out there.
Now up third baseman number 25, Mike Cherokee.
Troy, you know the seniors really want to win the senior night game, so.
Here's Mike Chikiri, the third baseman. You're absolutely right. They do. A lot of motivation for the home senior night for this squad. Chikiri was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. On the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. He's got a runner at second base and 1 out. Chikiri looking on, and here's the 0-1. Just missed for a high, ball 1, 1-1. One ball and one strike, one out. Leclerc looks on. Here's the 1-1. Big swing and a miss, strike 2.
He's got a couple good strikes on that fastball up high in the zone.
Exactly right. After a little bit of a rocky start there, he's really challenging hitters with that high fastball.
Let's see it again right here.
This section of the Fishers-Tigers lineup is having trouble catching up to it. 1 ball, 2 strike. Here's the 1-2. Oh, just missed.
Wow.
The words struck him out were coming out of my mouth. I had to stop him. So that pitch takes the count to 2-2. Leclerc looks on, gets the sign from Yeager. Runner at second, 1 out, and here's the 2-2. He's got him looking.
Beautiful.
That's almost the same pitch he threw last time.
Beautiful.
Just got it on the outside corner there, so.
And took a little bit off that speed. Beautiful strikeout pitch.
Second strikeout of the inning for Leclerc. Here's Cole Dalton. He's the shortstop. Right-handed hitter, number 2. First pitch is high for a ball, 1-0. Leclerc hasn't shown off a breaking ball or curveball repertoire yet, really.
Yeah.
It looks to be more of a location and speed pitcher. 1 ball and no strikes to Dalton. Big swing and a miss, that high fastball
again, yes.
1-1.
I like his intensity here. He's looking right in there, getting that sign from Yeager and letting it fly.
Yeager gives the sign. Leclerc looks in. Here's the 1-1. Fouls it right at first base. Hustling over is Yeager. He will not get to it. It's in the Fishers dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
Took a little speed off that one, Troy, and got him to foul it off to the right side.
Took a little speed off there, and they've shown they've had trouble spotting that fastball. Maybe something high and tight with a lot of speed behind it here.
I would come back with the fastball right now. Let's see if he does.
Instead of using that outside corner, get something on the fist. We'll see. Leclerc looks on, gets a sign from Yeager. Here's the 1-2. High fastball, but too high. Ball 2, 2-2. So Christensen is at second. Fishers leads it 4-2 here in the top of the 5th. Leclerc turns and throws, and a good throw would have got him, but a bad throw gets into center field. The runner does not advance, and Christensen was frozen at second base. So
I didn't know what was going to happen there because that was not a good throw. It went right in the dirt in front of the second baseman, rolled into center field, but as you said, Troy, runner was not able to advance, and that's good news for Brownsburg as a 2-2 count here on the batter.
2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 and fouled high in the air behind home plate. Yeager coming back to the screen, and it gets out of play back here by the booth.
Leclerc trying to slam the door on him this inning, and he needs to right now.
So Leclerc trying to keep that runner in scoring position from going anywhere. 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs to Cole Dalton, the shortstop, number 2, the right-handed hitter. Leclerc looks on, gets the sign from Yeager, looks the runner back at second base. And here's the 2-2. Fouled back.
Quite a battle here.
Two balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Tigers lead it 4-2. Top of the 5th inning. Leclerc is the 3rd pitcher of record now for the Bulldogs. Big off-speed pitch, was high and out of the zone, but he chased it and he struck him out. So all 3 outs on strikeouts by Leclerc this inning.
Good job.
Really showed a lot of command. Showed some good speed, too. A lot of velocity behind those pitches. Good spotting, and got him to chase one out of the zone there on a 2-2 pitch. So we'll go to the bottom half of the 5th, a run across in the top of the 5th for the Tigers. They lead it 4-2. 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Fishers. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs as we go to the bottom half of the 5th. Spring is here. It's time to give that outdated jewelry a makeover. Diamonds are forever. But styles change and mountings wear away. Let the professionals at Nelson Jewelers in Brownsburg help you create a fresh and unique custom design. Nelson Jewelers offers an in-house jewelry repair shop to ensure your jewelry receives the utmost care. Visit Nelson Jewelers for all of your jewelry needs at 22 East Main Street and online at www.nelsonjewelers.com. A little out of the way, very much out of the ordinary. What is a good neighbor? It's someone nearby who helps make your life a little easier. It's State Farm agent Pete Fay. He takes the time to understand your insurance and financial needs, so whether you're preparing for your child's college education or planning for your retirement, get the kind of help you'd expect from a good neighbor. Visit Farm Agent Pete Fay at 431 East Northfield Drive, Suite 100 in Brownsburg. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Troy, we're going to have a little change here in the Brownsburg lineup. Coming up to bat will be sophomore Anthony Travelstead. He's only had 6 at-bats, 1 hit.
So Travelstead will hit for, see where we're at in the order here. So Travelstead will hit for Yeager.
Who's going to catch?
Who is the catcher. And as we were talking about, Yeager, the first pitch to Travelstead is outside for a ball. So Travelstead comes in, takes another pitch low and away, ball 2-0.
I like that. 6 at-bats only on the season. Come in, take a couple pitches here, and he's done that. He's got a 2-ball, no-strike count.
Big swing and a miss on the high fastball, strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike. So we'll see how they shake this up defensively when they take the field in the top of the 6th. But Travelstead in there, ball's inside for a strike.
I don't know if he could bunt, Troy, but there at the start of the count, if he'd laid a bunt down third base, he could easily made it to first.
Really surprised to see Yeager come out of the game.
Me too.
Yeager's a senior. Ball's fouled away. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Travelstead. Nobody out. Pitch is grounded to the left side for a base hit. So Travelstead comes up. He's a sophomore and hitting for the senior catcher Yeager. And gets one between short and third for a base hit to left field, and he's aboard for Ish.
That was a nice hit by that young man. He slammed that ball into left field on the ground.
So Garrett Ish, the right fielder, steps in. Number 22, the right-handed hitter. 4-2 Fishers, bottom of the 5th. 1 on, nobody out for the Dogs. Yoho, the starting pitcher, still on the mound. Snap throw over to first. Travelstead is back.
Ish has had a good last couple weeks here, Troy. Really needs to do something big here. Stay out of the double play. Let's get a hit.
Yoho looks on, squaring around to bunt, and he's going to lay one down nicely. They will not get the play at second. Snap throw to first, and they just got him. A little bit of hesitation by Yoho. He got the ball over. No argument from the first base coach for the Dogs. But a bunt that was almost trouble. He got it right down between the pitcher and the third baseman. Yoho fields it off the mound pretty well, makes a quick throw to first after he looked at second base. Travelstead was speedy. He gets down there.
I like this situation for senior Hartnagel here.
Hartnagel, the senior, stepping in. One of 6 seniors on tonight on senior night. First pitch to him is outside, but a swing and a miss for strike 1, 0-1. Runner at second. The Dogs trail 4-2, 1 out. Yoho looks on. Here's the 0-1. On the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. Hartnagel did not like the call. He looks down to Coach Manley for some support.
He did not like that call. Yoho's their starting pitcher still in the game. They do have action in the Fishers bullpen.
It's the 0-2. Lifted high to right field and deep. Making a run for it. It's gone! And Hartnagel ties the game with the opposite field home run.
I like that situation for him. The senior leader, the MVP.
So we'll wait to hear if the MVP chant starts from the crowd as Hartnagel takes one out of here to right field, and he just looks relieved that he got a lot of bat on that ball. He didn't like one of the calls by the home plate umpire. He swung at a bad pitch on the first pitch. Really salvages that at bat. Ties the game at 4 apiece. So 4 runs on 6 hits for the Dogs against 4 runs on 8 hits for Fisher. So they score 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. It's 1 out, and this game is tied at 4 apiece. Yoho will stay in the game. Here's Tyler Houston, who homered in the first.
That's going to get Hartnagel's batting average close again to that 500 mark. Shades of George Brett. You need a big RBI in a big situation.
That's right. Ball's grounded sharply to third, off of the shoulder of the third baseman, Chikiri.
I wasn't sure his ball was going to get out. Troy, the right fielder chased it back to the wall, but it had just enough carry. Big clutch home run for
Pritchett, the right fielder, kind of took a step in when the ball came off the bat, and I wasn't sure. Turned around and was actually running with the ball coming over his shoulder towards the track, and it made it over the right field fence with plenty to spare. So safe on the error by Chikiri at third is Tyler Houston, and Hayden Shipman, the second baseman, in there. Houston with the lead at first. No balls and one strike to Shipman. Yoho looks on. Here's the 0-1. Hit hard to center field, coming over to try and make a play on it. A nice play in center field by Christensen. Kind of left his feet and went to his knees to get a glove on the line drive. The runner will not advance. Stays at first base, and there's two down.
It's a good catch on a hard hit ball to left center field.
So number 13, the right-handed hitter Cody Gill, the DH, will step in.
Two out now.
Big breaking ball misses outside. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, that's all right, Chris. One ball and no strikes, two outs. Game tied at 4 apiece here in the bottom of the fifth. Inside for strike one. One ball and one strike, two out. Bottom of the fifth, 2 runs across and hit nicely again to center. Christensen will come over and haul that one in. So the Dogs make some noise on the 2-run homer to the opposite field by the shortstop Michael Hartnagel, and this game is tied at 4 apiece as we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Looks like Leclerc's going to stay on the mound for the Dogs, despite the action in the pen.
We've got a good ball game here.
Got a great ball game here.
Beautiful night. Again, we mentioned it, but we've had such terrible weather this spring that it's worth mentioning multiple times. The beautiful weather we're having here in Brownsburg this evening.
Game tied at 4 apiece, 4 runs on 8 hits. 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors for Fishers. 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors for Brownsburg. Leclerc is now the pitcher of record, and this is his second inning of relief. Shown some real nice control with his fastball, a lot of velocity behind it. Struck out 3 in the last inning. So a lot of offense via some power here. As all but one of the runs, I believe, in this game have come from home runs.
Home runs, that's right. So Leclerc, as Troy mentioned, back to the mound here to start the 6th inning. We've seen his fastball.
Little look around the majors. The Brewers and Pirates are playing at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. No score, top of the first. A lot of these games are just underway. The Mariners are in New York at Yankee Stadium. No score, top of the first. And from earlier today, the Mets beat the Cardinals 5-2 at Busch Stadium. St. Louis sits at 26-14. The Mets at 15-23.
Thank you, Troy.
Ball's ripped to left field. Ish looking up, makes the grab. Nice catch out there by Garrett. I'm sorry.
Liam?
That's Liam. Ish is on the other side.
Well hit, but right at it.
So 1 up, 1 down for Fishers. Just exactly how Leclerc wanted it. So game tied at 4 apiece, top of the 6th. 1 out. Ball's fouled away on the right side by number 15, Jacob Topman, the right-handed hitter. He's the left fielder for the Tigers.
Now, this is the first game of a back-and-back back-to-back with this team. Brownsburg scheduled to play at Fishers tomorrow night at 5:30.
Pitch is in there for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. The Reds are in Miami tonight. Face the Marlins.
Did you see that attendance for that game last night?
I did not. How bad was it?
It was bad. We saw some of it on TV. I would say lucky to have 10,000.
That's just terrible. The Marlins have duped the people of South Florida numerous times.
Built that beautiful stadium.
1 ball and 2 strikes,
Well,
1 out.
Beautiful stadium. I'm sorry. I don't like that.
Game
stadium.
tied at 4 apiece. I don't either, really. It's very Miami, that's for sure. Cubs with the night off. White Sox are at the Angels tonight on the West Coast. Late start at 10:05. That ball's in there for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. 1 out. Nobody on. The game tied at 4 apiece. Leclerc looks on, and here's the 2-2. Lifted high in the air to right field. Camping under it, going out is a second baseman, Shipman. And Hayden Shipman hauls it in for the out. 2 outs now, nobody on.
Leclerc's retired 5 in a row, I believe.
Leclerc, in an inning and 2/3, has struck out 3 and retired 5 straight. And here's Garrett Slaughter. With all the moving around, Slaughter behind the plate now. He is the catcher, the right-handed hitter, number 1.
He does have one of their RBIs in this game.
Nice off-speed pitch in there.
There
for
was a
strike
curveball
by
from the
Leclerc.
enemy.
Yeah. Here is the 0-1. Grounded foul. It went off of his foot, so he'll limp that off a little bit. Garrett Slaughter, the catcher, number 1, takes it off his foot. Home plate umpire goes out, takes a look at the ball with Leclerc. Here we are, top of the 6th.
You know, Leclerc only pitched 12 innings this year. Coming into this game, he continues working like this, and we'll see a lot more from him next year.
Slaughter, a couple of warm-up swings, shakes off that foul ball off his foot. Leclerc looks on, no balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and here is the 0-2. High and just outside for ball 1. Tried to get him to chase one. He did not. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on. Game tied at 4 apiece. Top of the 6th. 2 outs. Ball is lifted foul out of play behind the Tiger bullpen.
You know, it's a little detail, but that was a good 0-2 pitch right there.
You
want to
so.
try and get him to chase it outside the zone. And I watched Kyle Yeager, the catcher, set up on the outside portion of that for that 0-2 pitch, and he hit the spot.
Here's the 1-2. Fouled away again, same place.
The big crowd sticking around here in this 4-4 game, 6th thing.
One ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Off-speed pitch misses high and away. Ball number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Nobody out. Game tied at 4 apiece, top of the 6th.
A lot of chatter coming from both dugouts now as we get late into this game.
Ball's grounded over to Sampson. The third's got trouble with it. Comes up throwing hard to Comer, and they got him.
Good arm.
Nice job by Sampson to keep it in front of him and keep his wits about him. Shows a nice arm over to first. And after 5.5, this game's tied at 4 apiece. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors that have been with us throughout this season as we approach the end of the year and get ready for sectional into the regular season. Get ready for sectional play next Wednesday night. The Dogs will be playing at Avon at the sectional. At 6 o'clock on Wednesday, they'll be playing Decatur Central Hawks. Dogs sit at 13-8 this season. Their competition tonight, the Fishers Tigers, 13-14 on the year. 4 runs on 8 hits tonight for Fishers. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Dogs. No errors by either team. Actually, 1 error for Fishers. The third baseman, Chakiri, took one off the shoulder.
Their starting pitcher, Brandon Yoho, going to go out to work again. He likes to finish what he started. He's pitched 9 games so far this year and completed 5 of them. So he's trying to make it 6 out of 10 here.
Yoho.
See if the Brownsburg can rough him up a bit and get him out of there.
Yoho stays in, and Yoho hit a home run earlier, solo shot to left field to help himself out a little bit.
We have a change in Brownsburg batting here. McGowan going to come on and hit here, Troy.
So McGowan will come on and hit. See who he's going to hit for.
He's seen some action. He's got 20 at-bats this year with 5 hits for a .250 average.
Number 8, Jackson McGowan will pinch hit, the right-handed hitter.
Sophomore.
He's a sophomore, as Chris said. And McGowan fouls one off his foot. Strike 1. Tied up at 4 apiece, bottom of the 6th. Sure would like to get a run here.
Right. Going to that last, the 7th. There's more action in the Brownsburg bullpen.
Yoho looks on. Here is the pitch. Grounded over to third base. Throw over to first, and they got him. So McGowan grounds out third to first. Jakiri to Abney for the out.
Now back to the Bulldogs. First baseman, number 24, Sam Comer.
So here's Sam Comer, the first baseman. So McGowan hit for the left fielder, Liam. First pitch is grounded over to short, long throw over to first, and Comer is out on the first pitch. Comer's been real aggressive at the plate tonight.
He has. Like to see him take a couple there, but saw a pitch he liked, went ahead and swung at it. Ground ball to second, though, and that's 2 outs.
So game tied at 4 apiece and 2 outs now. We go to the bottom here in the bottom of the 6th. Here's Caleb Sampson, who's played third and pitched tonight, back at third base now. If he gets on, we'll see who's going to catch for us. Is big swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch, strike 1. As Kyle Yeager was hit for in the 5th. Yoho looks on. Here's the 0-1. Just missed, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Game tied at 4 apiece, bottom of the 6th. Here's the 1-1 by Yoho. Outside corner for a strike, 1-2.
Caleb Sampson does not have a home run this year. Now would be a good time for it, but he's behind in the count 1-2. Going to be tough now.
Yoho gets the sign from Slaughter, and here's the 1-2. Guy got him looking on the outside corner. He called that one from up here. So the Dogs go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Tigers look to take the lead and push Brownsburg to the brink in the bottom of the 7th inning. This game is tied at 4 apiece. I'd like to thank all of our listeners who have tuned in to us on xrbradio.com or 1610 AM. You can also log in and catch a view of the game, not just the sounds of the game, on audiosportsonline.com. Just log in there or on the website. Click on the icon for Brownsburg baseball, and you'll get won't be able to see Chris and I, but you'll be able to hear us and watch the game from our behind home plate camera. Game is tied at 4 apiece. So Yeager will remain in the game as the catcher. Starters are allowed to re-enter the game after being pinch hit for.
Leclerc going to continue?
So Leclerc remains the pitcher of record. He's on the mound. He's pitched very well. He's held this lead for the Dogs.
Nobody working in the bullpen. It's up to him now, Troy.
4 runs on 8 hits, no errors. 4 runs on 8 hits and an error for Fishers. 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Dogs. So Yeager back in at catcher, so he will re-enter the game under the rules. Here's Derek Eli, the second baseman, number 3, the right-handed hitter. He's the leadoff man. And Leclerc looks on, and here's the pitch. Breaking ball high for ball 1, 1-0. Ball is lifted, foul behind home plate. Yeager takes a look, but it's back here by the booth in the stands. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sun's starting to go down. No more sunshine on the field. Still a nice night.
And a great ball game.
Really great game. Ball is lifted high in the air to center field. Camping under it is Houston, and he hauls it in for out number 1. Flags barely moving in left center field. We've had 2 home runs to left and 1 home run to right. Hartnagel goes the opposite field for the one to right. Houston to left field. And Yoho, the pitcher, starting pitcher and still pitcher of record for Fishers, number 22, the right-handed hitter and current batter.
He's had a home run.
Hit one out to left. And that ball shot to left field and deep. Is it going to stay fair? It is a foul ball.
Wow. Boy, that was a shot to left field.
So
line drive just drifted left of the line for a foul ball.
So Yoho shows some bat speed there, really turns on one and rips it down the third baseline. Almost made it to the fence on the fly. So no balls and 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 0-1 to Yoho. Outside, nice stop there by Yeager. Keep that ball in play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to third and by Sampson. That's going to go down the left field line. Yoho will make a turn at first. Going to second. Here comes the throw, and he does not make it. He turns around and takes his steps back to first base.
Liam got on that ball pretty quick out there in left field, made a nice throw to second.
I got to tell you, I thought that was a double for sure.
Yeah, I did too.
I was surprised when I saw him make the turn and then put the brakes on and head back to first base. So Liam, another nice defensive effort in left field.
An important at bat here.
Throw over to first for Yoho. Comer puts the tag on him, but he's back safely. So here's number 8, Connor Christensen. He's the Christensen is the center fielder. Ball is in there high, 1-0.
I know he has at least a double in this game. I don't know if you have him for anything more, Troy. Christensen.
I do not. Played some pretty solid center field.
Yes.
Some hard hit balls by the Bulldogs out his way and made some nice catches out there.
How about an old double play ball?
We'll take it. 1 ball and no strike. That pitch is high. 2-0. So the pitcher, Yoho at first.
Big situation here.
Connor Christensen, the center fielder, number 8. He is a lefty. Comer's going to hold Yoho on the bag at first. Leclerc rubbing the ball down out there on the mound. Settles in now. Christensen in the box. Takes some practice swings. Yeager with the sign. Over to first. Looks Leclerc. And here's the 2-0. Down in the dirt. Nice job by Yeager to keep it in front of him. The count goes 3 balls and no strikes.
Good play. Catcher Yeager there. Block that ball. Keep the runner from advancing.
No action in the Brownsburg bullpen. There is a right-handed pitcher throwing in the Fishers pen. Number 3, Derek Eli, who is the second baseman, is warming up. Looks like he may come in and pitch. Throw over to first for Yoho. He's back. 3 balls and no strikes, 1 out. Runner at first. Top of the 7th. This game is tied at 4 apiece. Here's the 3-0. In the inside corner for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike.
He needed that strike there, Troy.
He did. That he did. So we'll see how Leclerc responds here. 3-1, 1 out, runner at first, tie game. Here's a 3-1. Down in the dirt. Oh, he called him for a strike.
Batter didn't like that. That ball looked low.
I called it in the dirt. Yeager took up that 5-hole position to keep the ball from going between his legs.
Yes, sir.
And over to first, and Yoho is back. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count is full. 1 out, runner at first. Game tied at 4 apiece, top of the 7th. Leclerc looks on, gets a sign from Yeager, looks over at Yoho at first. Comer's holding him. And here's the 3-2. Ball's grounded to first base and through for a hit. Rounding second and going to third is the pitcher Yoho.
And not a good throw there. Instead of throwing the ball into second base to keep that runner from advancing to second, after that single, the throw went into third, and the batter advanced to second base, and now runners are at second and third. So they did start that runner, on the pitch. It was a 3-2 count, 1 out. I wondered if they would start the runner with the pitch. They did, and it helped him out there as he went all the way to third, Troy.
So Mattingly comes out, and we will have another new pitcher. Hayden Shipman, who's the second baseman, will come in and pitch.
With the exception of those few batters there, Leclerc did a very good job in relief. Hate to see that happen to the young man. Those 2 runs would be his responsibility.
So number 2, Hayden Shipman, the second baseman, will come on.
Number 5, Austin Jones.
So Austin Jones comes into the game to play second. Shipman will come in and pitch. So some more moving around. Is a little pitching by committee tonight for the Dogs.
Hayden Shipman's pitched 7.1 innings coming into this game. He struck out 7, so he's got some good stuff on his ball. A 5.73 ERA. We'll see what he does here in this big situation now. Runners at second and third with 1 out. Troy, would you think about walking a man to set up the force play on any base here?
I would. The pitcher Yoho is at third. He is the go-ahead run.
Catcher Yeager going to go out and talk to his new pitcher here and returns behind home plate.
Connor Christensen at second for Fishers. Here's Taylor Cantor, number 24, the right-handed hitting DH. 1 out, game tied at 4 apiece. And Shipman is the relief pitcher on the mound.
They're going to pitch to him.
Not going to walk him. And Cantor fouls the first pitch off behind the Tiger dugout for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Big swing and a miss for strike 2.
Nice pitch, good fastball on the outside part of the plate. Got him swinging right there.
0-2, 1 out, game tied 4 apiece, runners at second and third for the Tigers. Top of the 7th. Shipman looks on, gets a sign from Yeager. Here's the 0-2. Popped him up. Just what the doctor ordered. It's the center field. We're going to see if they're going to send the runner. They will. Here comes the throw in, and there will be no play at the plate as he returns to third base.
Third base coach pulled him back on that. And that was just what the doctor ordered, so now 2 out.
So Tyler Houston, the center fielder. Nice job out there. Pitch is in there for a ball, 1-0. So nice job getting the ball in as the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Nice pitch by Mr. Shipman there on the outside corner, 1-1.
Chikiri in there. He's the third baseman. Here's the 1-1. Grounded to Sampson at third. Comes up throwing over to Comer at first, and they get the out. So no damage done, and the Dogs will try and win this in walk-off fashion in the bottom half of the 7th. After 6.5 innings, this game is tied at 4 apiece. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters provide severe weather sheltering and personal safety needs. They are located in Pittsboro and are open 7 to 7. Superior Safe Rooms and Storm Shelters can be reached at 317-361-8029 and found on the web at superiorsaferooms.com. So we'll see if we can end this thing in dramatic fashion here, or somewhat dramatic fashion, as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Game tied at 4 apiece. There's been some shuffling in the lineup for the Dogs, so we'll see who we expect to come up here in just a moment.
It was a nice throw across the diamond there by the third baseman. Kind of bobbled the ball, but came up with it and fired to first to get that all-important third out. Brownsburg will look to push a run across here in the bottom of the 7th. Try and push that record to 14-8.
So Yoho remains on the mound.
He is going to continue.
You said he has 5 complete games, I think, this year.
5 complete games out of 9 starts.
So he's going to try and get the win. We're at bottom of the 7th, and leading off is going to be the catcher, Yeager.
They do have bullpen action for Fishers. Nathan Rhodes, the right-hander, throwing down there. Here comes senior catcher Yeager.
So Kyle Yeager, the catcher, in. Ish would be next, and then the leadoff hitter, Hartnagel, is third. Tyler Houston, if anybody gets on. Hartnagel has homered, as has Houston.
No home runs for Yeager this year. Boy, would he like to have one now as a senior to win this game.
First pitch is a strike. 0-1. Yoho looks on. Here's the 0-1 to Yeager. Big swing and a miss inside corner on a fastball, 0-2.
Was that a ball low? Troy, you would think so?
Oh, yeah.
Got a little
anxious
there.
Yeah, looked, he got a little anxious there and saw a fastball coming. He's probably trying to sit on a fastball and swung at a bad pitch. Yoho looks on. Here's the 0-2 to Yeager. Grounded back to Yoho at the mound. Turns and throws it over to Abney for the out. So 1 up and 1 down, bottom of the 7th. And here's Garrett Ish, the right fielder. Well, we have a scenario developing here. Michael Hartnagel, the senior and the consensus media MVP for the Dogs this year,
That's what we got.
Be up next.
This is a good situation for another senior Ish right here. He's shown some power this year.
Ish takes an off-speed pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. No balls, a 1 strike, 1 out. Game tied at 4 apiece. Ball pitch misses for a ball, 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Ball's grounded to short. Ish hustling hard and out at first base by about half a step.
Close play.
Real close play. Ish showing off a lot of hustle there. Dalton, the shortstop, came up throwing quickly to Abney, the first baseman. Well, here we go. The senior Michael Hartnagel, the shortstop, at the plate. He's got a home run to right field in this game, so he's definitely seeing the ball. He's tagged Yoho once, and here we go. Here's the first pitch to Hartnagel. High for a ball, 1-0. So if Hartnagel could get on, Tyler Houston, who is also homered tonight, would be next. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Missed outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
A fastball down the middle. Watch out here, Troy.
So Hartnagel's objective is to get on base, obviously, but it might look for a good pitch. That one's down in the dirt, 3-0. So Yoho's not throwing him anything.
Good patience.
And now, if he can get on base and Tyler Houston's next, you wonder if Yoho would even pitch to Houston. With action in the pen as he walks Hartnagel on 4 pitches. So they put the winning run on first.
Another reason he's MVP right there. Showed patience in that situation. A lot of kids that want to go up there and be a hero. You know, I'm rooting for a home run here, but he's smarter than that. Took the pitches, and he'll take the walk to get on at first base.
So Houston in there, and they've had this combo once tonight. They both homered, and Houston is doubled to right, which Hartnagel scored on a hustling play from first base. Here's the pitch. Down in the dirt, and Hartnagel goes to second. So here we go, the winning runs in scoring position.
Good single
with 2
scoring.
outs. And Tyler Houston. And now they're going to walk him on purpose. So Houston will advance on the intentional walk.
Probably a good move by them.
And here's the second baseman, Hayden Shipman. Actually, the pitcher now, Hayden Shipman. Shipman moved from second to the mound in the last inning. So 2 outs. If Shipman can get a hit, you have Hartnagel, a scenario for him to have another really close play at home plate here.
Shipman over 400 batting average on the year with 19 RBIs.
7-5, 10-5.
Good candidate to drive in the winning run.
Junior varsity team is making their way to the field. They'll catch the end of the game as they win 10-5 tonight. Also taking on the JV Fisher squad in the next door
Troy,
field.
Here we go.
And here we do go. Runners at first and second. Hartnagel is at second. The batter is Shipman. Tyler Houston at first on the intentional walk.
They're going to change pitchers.
Game is tied at 4 apiece, and as we speculated, Yoho is not going to pitch to Hayden Shipman.
Nathan Rhodes will come in for them, a junior. 3.25 ERA.
Rhodes is a right-handed pitcher.
High drama here in town tonight.
So it'll be righty versus righty. And Rhodes has got some velocity in that warm-up pitch.
Right.
A lot
Came
of
out
snap.
firing.
A lot of snap in that glove.
It's a big kid.
Now fishing for Fishers, number 23, Daniel Rhodes.
Daniel Rhodes, the right-handed pitcher, coming in relief of Yoho. Yoho had 5 complete games on the season. He was a third of an inning away from having that tonight.
Hayden Shipman, another one of these departing Brownsburg seniors, has a chance to come up big here in the bottom of the 7th.
No balls, no strikes. There's not been a pitch to Shipman yet. Shipman is also the pitcher of record for Brownsburgers. He came in on the mound from second base last inning. So Rhodes will continue his warm-up pitches here.
Most of the crowd sticking around here.
The warm-up pitches are done. The home plate umpire gives the plate a little bit of attention. Slaughter, the catcher, goes out to have a word with Rhodes. And here's Hayden Shipman. He'll dig in. Winning run at second base in the form of shortstop Michael Hartnagel.
Both benches alive and chatter going away.
Here's the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Shipman. The ball gets away. Hartnagel's going to try and go to third, and he will. So the tag on the high tag on the back of Hartnagel. He gets in on the head first slide to third. So now, base hit, game over.
Many more ways you can score from third base, too. Then, of course, you can from second. A wild pitch may score him from
And,
here.
of course, the wild pitch is how he gets to third. So we'll look and see if Rhodes can keep the ball, if Slaughter can keep the ball in front of him. So no balls and 1 strike. Here's the 0-1, and another swing and a miss on another off-speed pitch by Shipman. Did not look good up there at the plate that time.
No, swung well over the top of that one.
It counts 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. This game is tied at 4 apiece. And here's the 0-2 by Rhodes. Grounded up the middle, base hit, the game is over. Hartnagel scores from third on the walk-off single on an 0-2 pitch by Hayden Shipman.
Sharply hit ball up the middle. He's the senior hero tonight. Big win for Brownsburg.
And I got to tell you, that ball was so close to being caught by the pitcher Rhodes. It just went outside of his glove. So the Dogs win it in dramatic fashion on the walk-off single by Shipman, which scores Hartnagel from third base Hartnagel scores 3 runs tonight, hits a home run, and involved in a very close, aggressive play at the plate. And the Bulldogs will move their record to 14-8. The Fishers Tigers will go to 13-15 on the year. And,
that was a fantastic game, Troy.
Great game. And thank you all again for joining us for Hoosier Crossroads Conference Baseball on 1610 a.m. and xrbradio.com, and also those that are watching and listening at Audio Sports Online. The final score from Mary Beth Rose Park in Brownsburg is the Brownsburg Bulldogs 5 and the Fishers Tigers 4. Thanks for joining us, everybody, and have a good night.